Hello, Capricorn, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of August 31st through September 6th. And during that time, we will have a first quarter moon that comes in on the 31st or the 1st, or that energy right in there somewhere. And it's kind of like that full moon energy where you feel a little bit impulsive and impatient. Your mind may be very active. You may have trouble sleeping, that sort of thing. So keep that in mind. We then move into the waxing gibbous energy, which is kind of the opposite. It's just kind of that calm down period where it's a good time for just really having a deeper understanding of things that are going on around you, and also acting on your intuition, and able to make adjustments, and as you're working on things that you've started during the full moon, but planning and making preparations, and you're just a little bit more flexible, a little easier to get along with. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. This will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Capricorn. So, of course, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't for someone else. And your overall message for this reading is a fiery climax approaches. All right, let's see what the Capricorn Collective has going on for the week. As I'm shuffling, I would like to remind you that since my readings are free to you, all that I ask in return is that you hit that subscribe button. It really helps my channel, and it is certainly very easy for you to do. So I'll give you just a moment right now while I'm shuffling to get that done. Thank you so much. And if you've been a subscriber, thank you for coming back and helping me build a community here. I really appreciate that. So thank you so much. All right. And my weekly reminder this week, Capricorn, is that you keep a spiritual journal. Sometimes we don't recognize the patterns that are evolving in our life when it comes to our spiritual experiences. So, keeping a journal of the things that you learn, or maybe synchronicities you're having, or dreams, or sometimes recurring dreams, maybe angel numbers that you're seeing very often. It lets you look back later on those emerging patterns, and that can be an important tool as you're evolving spiritually. I know sometimes, I'll look back through my journal and say, oh, I remember learning that lesson, and I was going to incorporate that into my life, into my daily, and I didn't, so it reminds me to do that. Or there's a thing that I learned and I have incorporated that, and here are the ways in which that's changed me. So anyway, just my fun weekly reminder for you is that you do keep a spiritual journal. It comes in quite handy. So all right, without further ado, Capricorn, August 31st through September 6th, a fiery climax approaches. Your present energy, something to do with your childhood here, a 6 of Cups. So something, this could be some reminiscing, something, this could be a person that comes in up through your past, through your childhood, someone that you've known in the past that maybe you've lost some contact with. But something having to do with that, with either that person or people from your past. There, your current situation is the Page of Cups. So this may have been someone who was very funny, someone who made you laugh. Our Page of Cups to me is kind of our comedian of our pages. Of course, it's about new emotion, and but it's kind of lighthearted emotion. It's nothing heavy, and you see he's got his little fish in his cup there. This is just again, I look at the water in the background, just kind of flowing water. It's just someone who goes with the flow, someone who's very funny and fun to be around. So, let's see what happens there. At the root of your situation is that, yeah, you're thinking about the past here with the Nine of Wands. So you're really looking back. You're really having a minute for some reason. We'll see what this fiery climax is when this all comes about. Let's see what the story is as we move forward here. In your recent past is some sort of judgment. So this could be some sort of either judgment that you're having on yourself. This is like a new awareness. You've made a decision about something. It could be something about this person from the past where maybe you've made like a misjudgment, and you've thought, oh, let me question this. Maybe maybe I didn't read that entire situation correctly. Things could have gone differently, but it's some new awareness or some new information that comes to you that makes you think about the situation a little bit differently. On your mind is the Four of Swords, so a little bit of rest and meditation about it. You're just spending some time thinking about this, whatever it is, or there's someone from your past that's just on your mind, and Again, maybe it's something, maybe there's some situation and you feel like maybe you misjudge that person, um, or the situation again. So there's other people involved here, but it's definitely on your mind, even if you're not in contact with the person. It's something that you're thinking about. It's something that for some reason, some trigger or something has come up to remind you of your past in this situation. And again, I think it's someone who was very lighthearted and fun and comical and made you laugh, and maybe you just didn't treat them as well as you could have, perhaps. Let's see, in your future coming up here is, you know, interesting that this is just ahead of you this week. And I always ask people to look at this card and tell me what's going on, because people read it differently. So I will take a second and let you observe this card. What do you think is going on in this card? Some people will say this person is giving to these people. Some people will say these people are receiving. So, kind of whichever way you see that, that's kind of the mode that you're in right now. You may be in giving mode. That may be that you're going to reach out to this person. You may be in receiving mode where this person reaches out to you and you're going to receive some sort of information. But that looks like that is just ahead of you. And even though it involves pentacles, and this may be that you see someone that remind you of that person and you're going to be giving to them, and for some reason your past comes up or that person reminds you of that person from your past, if that makes sense. In your advice position is King of Cups, which is about just really knowledge about your own emotions. And if you're taking the time to rest and meditate, maybe you are kind of exploring that. You're exploring, did I do the right thing in the past? Did I um I'm just getting this feeling that maybe something went a little awry with this person. Maybe you were friends and you're just kind of questioning that. You might be a more mature person now. Maybe you weren't sure then how to handle your emotions or things, but you're in a better place now, and the advice is to take advantage of that, to go ahead and sit in that knowledge and kind of give yourself cut yourself a little bit of slack. If you are judging something that you did in the past, it could be because your emotional awareness wasn't really what it is today, and that's okay. We all make mistakes like that, and it's fine. Don't be too hard on yourself about it. What is beyond your control is a new journey with the Fool card. So all right, something may set you off here, um, on maybe just a new way of being. Maybe this new awareness, this new judgment of yourself makes you just be better and be just a better person. So that's never a bad thing, right? That we're making movements towards the future and trying to be better. What is your secret desire? What you're trying to avoid is the World card here. So, and I hope this is your secret desire. I mean, this is the end of the Fool's journey. So while you're ending one journey and one way of being, you're starting another. That's unavoidable. I doubt if you're trying to avoid that, because this is the card of just perfect balance and kind of just a good understanding. This could be just some understanding of something that did go on in your childhood. And that you're kind of at the end, and it's time to pick up the pieces and start a new journey there. In your outcome position is the Moon. So maybe what this does is it makes you trust your intuition a little bit more, um, and makes you go within a little bit more to see this entire situation. And if it is some sort of fiery climax, it looks like it may be with, again, with a person of your past, or even, I'm thinking someone that just reminds you. It doesn't even have to be with that actual person. And I feel like this fiery climax is kind of internal. Like you come to some realization, but it's all very internal, and you decide to go ahead and trust your intuition, to trust the universe a little bit more, to trust the synchronicities, to trust those dreams that you're having. Like I said, if you're, keeping a dream journal, it is a good thing to do, because if you're having some sort of awakening about this and you're having a realization, then you do want to keep track of those things that are coming to you. So what is hidden from you this week, Capricorn, is the Sun. So very interesting. You are kind of in the dark on some stuff, and maybe things aren't quite coming to light again. You've got, the Moon is illuminating some things, but it doesn't illuminate everything, and there might still be things that maybe you're missing. Which is the Sun is just putting full sunlight on everything, where the Moon is kind of like, hey, let's illuminate this little bit here so that you can see this, but you might not be able to see the entire picture clearly, and that's hidden from you this week. And it may take time for that to come out and for you to really see that entire situation. And that may be what that rest and meditation is about, is to take some time to think about it. And again, that fiery climax is probably just internal, that you're like, kind of like, oh, I can't believe I did that. I can't believe I treated that person this way, or I did this thing, and how immature I was in the past. I would never do that now, right? And that's okay. Again, don't be too hard on yourself. All right, let's get a final message here from the Soul Oracle deck. Soul Oracle deck, as Capricorn goes through whatever this is be patient. Of course, I agree with that. I don't think you have, the sunlight's hidden. I don't think you have quite all the answers yet, but you are at least thinking about it and at least coming to some sort of realization about it. What do you need to do in the way of self-care this week? Self-care for Capricorn, as I'm telling them, don't be too hard on yourself. And your card here is the card of action. And it's a stairway with a door here. Baby steps are still steps, and they're better than standing still. Interesting. So yeah, baby steps. Again, I feel like the sunlight's hidden from you. You're not having light on this entire situation, but something is occurring to you. I do think it's internal. I don't think it really, even though it's about something from your past, I don't think it really involves those people from your past. And again, I feel like there might be a trigger where someone from your present reminds you of something, and I get the feeling that it's just making you think about this thing, and you're being a little hard on yourself about it, but you're learning, and that's okay. So make sure you are paying attention. Your outcome here is that you're on this new path. This thing is wrapping up, and it's like you've had this realization. It sets you off on this new path, but you're going to be trusting your intuition. And maybe this came to you in a dream. You're going to trust your dreams a little more, those things that come in the dark of night, and the things that are kind of a little more fuzzy than something with just a big bright light shining upon it. So Capricorn, good luck with this. I wish you all the best. I really appreciate your time here with me today. And I do hope there was something that you can take away from this reading and use in your life. If you're comfortable sharing, if you've had some sort of realization like this about something from your past, again, if you're comfortable sharing, drop me a comment down below. I'd love to hear, what you guys are going through. Also, if you like my reading style, again, please like and subscribe. It pushes me out in the algorithm. And as a new YouTuber, I really do appreciate that. But most importantly, Capricorn, it'll help you find me next week. So thanks so much. Good luck with this, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.